my release in 2000 with a college degree still wound up finding me homeless, not able to use the education opportunities that I was afforded because of the crimes. And so I found myself actually living behind this building in that area that they call the jungle. And I was there for about 4 years. For me, safe returns was something that today the department strives for, but back then was something that very few people were afforded that opportunity of having a safe return from within the Department of Corrections back into the community, because the program or pathways that was developed was more of a drop-off than a handoff.
I noticed when I got released from prison in 2001 that even though I had a big network of friends around me, that there were still difficulties that came up. And safe return for me, the idea of safe return was being able to have people to connect with, but also being able to have the certain people in your life that's going to be putting a mirror up in front of you. And it's being able to have access to resources, accesses to things I don't see about myself, which my community that I'm building would show me, and having access to external resources like transportation, learning how to ride a bus, learning how to shop. That was a big one when I first came out. The first store I went to, it was like I had to walk out of the store and my friends went and bought my stuff for me because it would become overwhelming with all the choices. It's a whole different world out here. So someone to walk shoulder to shoulder with me through the whole process, that's a safe return.
I'm 61 years old, and I spent 31 years in prison and 3 years on parole. And when I got out, I was going to a place that I had no idea what it was going to be like, except for what people tell me. Because I was in prison for so long, I met these people that you talk about, Rusty Thomas and many more. And most of them got out before I did. And so when I got released, even though I didn't have a mother and a father and brothers and sisters living here, I had people that I had come to know, and that they got to know me. They got to trust me. Why? Because they saw how honest I could be about my feelings. And so on my release, I had people who knew me and helped me through those times when I didn't know what was going to happen.
It is said reducing recidivism is the goal. Department of Corrections' motto and mission is to promote public safety and keep communities safe. But at the end of the day, the only way that we're going to reduce recidivism and keep communities safe is to motivate individuals on the inside to be able to want that quality life that all of us share. Freedom Project is one of the programs that has been successful for 18 years in spreading that message, not only in one institution, but statewide. Freedom Project has pretty much led the spectrum in providing peer specialists and community circles to deal with the mirage of issues that individuals, when they return back to community, are faced with. So with Freedom Project, working with the professionals in the community, working with the community circle, partnering with just regular residents in the community as volunteers, creates that type of atmosphere inside the institution where a person starts to feel a member of the community before they're ever released. For me, investment in the future of a person actually comes from investing in positive institutions that bring forth that message that people want to hear. I would encourage any and everybody who have had an opportunity, who haven't had an opportunity to visit Freedom Project, look at the work, please do. Because it's not the Antioch University's evidence-based proof that we want you to see. That's data. We want you to see the faces and have the conversations with the men and women whose hearts and lives have been touched by this organization. And at the end of the day, all you gotta do is look at me. 10 years ago, I lived in a tent under a bridge. Today, I'm a program manager with the Department of Corrections Division of Reentry.
All the workshops that I went to when I was inside, and other people that helped me and I helped them inside while we were preparing for release. I never thought about the financial aspect of that. Money that requires, I never really thought about it. I was totally focused on the lessons that I needed to learn. So looking back now, I really appreciate that so many people took their time and spent their resources in order to help me and so many others. And that's got to go on. It's got to continue. Please.
Volunteering is not just about giving yourself volunteering or contributing money or anything like that. It's the other end of how much it's serving you. Is it, when you give money, does it serve your heart to give money to this place? And in what way? That's what's important to me. If you're giving money, then do it from the heart. Do it because you want a different world. You see a different world, and you see Freedom Project, what they're doing, as being a way to contribute to that different world. If you're volunteering, do you volunteer because you think you're helping or that you're fixing somebody? Or do you, what we hope for is if you're volunteering from that place of service to where you're here and you're going to learn too. You're going to learn just give. You're going to receive just as much as you're giving. You're going to find that place of community, that place of belonging.